Hey,
Warming up, test mic test, audio levels moving. If you
but
are watching if you're watching right now, this is a recorded live stream. The show will officially start in a few minutes. Feel free to jump forward or watch us manually prepare and share our link.
live stream reminder. Uh, and then I may be a little stuck in my seat because I got my booster today, but now my left side feels very uncomfortable.
Mm.
So much so that I can't quite bend my arm. And then we
Ooh, ooh.
what?
Gaming Library, not a sponsor. Just restocked on Sleeping Gods. Ugh,
Oh, that's the one you
loud
tried to get an
cats.
auction thing on
The loud
earlier.
cat.
So the part of the reason Toby made the smart recommendation that we should wear polos today, so that I can just unbutton it and just like wiggle out. Because I've been struggling to get in and out of a t-shirt today.
But yeah,
Ah,
yay to booster shots.
yeah, it's still a good thing. I'm glad. I've been able to do it. It's just ouchies.
Okay, the stream is running on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm gonna test if I can tag you. Oh, and the laundry's done.
Oh, I don't see the emojis
What emojis?
here in Facebook.
Huh? Duh? Okay. Oh, I was able to tag you in the post today.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
sharing to
oddly
the
new because Facebook's been weird.
mailing list. Sharing successfully. And then now resharing link to my own feed. Portal Games just released a 28-page PDF of fan-made scenarios.
Or Empires of the North. What?
Empires of the North.
Okay, I saw a poster. I just liked it because of the layout, but I didn't look into the details, admittedly. But that's cool. But like scenarios, how does the scenarios work in Empires of the North?
For solo play.
Ah, understood. Understood.
Mm, yeah, I saw you tagged me. I approved it. I do not see it in my thread.
Nothing's perfect, Facebook, or Facebook is not perfect. Both statements are true.
This is starting to be very strange.
It's like there's a comment. It's Toby commenting
Okay.
on our own video.
In the meantime, Twitter. Hmm. Okay, here I see it.
But yeah, so this week we're trying out Tuesday and Thursday only because it makes more sense than Monday and Thursday. So our schedule's evolving as our routines are changing back to something a little closer to pre-pandemic normal. So sometimes on Fridays we have stuff. Although ironically, this Friday I have like my a company
Yeah,
event and
everything
stuff.
is happening.
This week is Saturday, but yeah, it just makes more sense this way. And then admittedly, Monday is just super busy. And so I think this is a good idea so that we're not so stressed at the beginning of the episode.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Okay.
hello, Mina. Oh, hello, hello. Thank you again for the many goodies. I have to craft proper Instagram posts for these things.
The crinkles are devilishly good. They're brownies with sugar powder.
Yes, Mina, it's an actual advent calendar. We are very surprised by this as well, and we'll have to talk about a little story
We'll be
on.
opening it.
Yeah. We're gonna open it, and we're going to open the first door, so to speak, in traditional advent calendar parlance.
Mm, all right. I've shared in Twitter. I've
Mhm,
shared in the
mhm,
list.
mhm.
I've shared in Facebook. And yes, confirming it is live on YouTube as
So
well.
I'll be mainly only moving my right hand. My vaccination arm is gonna stay right where it is, resting on my leg. I could have a splint, and that might a splint, a sling, and I don't know if that would feel any better. Okay. Um.
So definitely video quality is better on Facebook.
Interesting. Duh, duh.
Oh no, it's the same. They're just both blurry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have setting until I shell out money for premium. Our video quality is capped at a
But I don't
certain
even know
range.
if premium is worth it because I think our connection's terrible.
That is also true.
We don't have fiber, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then every time I inquire for PLDT, it's like there's no space in the cabinet. I'm kind of tempted to switch the Sky cable because they supposedly offer fiber here, but I don't believe. And then like Sky, I don't know. My last study of Sky, uh, they're actually not great for continuous connection type things like streaming and
Mm-hmm.
online games. Like the dropouts were bad before, but I don't know now. I haven't looked into it recently. Anyway, that's not what this episode is about.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing broadband internet tech support. We're gonna talk about Exit, the game. So I'm going to roll credits, and then we'll get started. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah! Really great!
This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Parade, our little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It's completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. This is a Tuesday, which used to be our Monday Geeky Day, so I'm kind of still messing up. Love that. But it's a
Tuesdays used
Tuesday.
to be about food.
And Tuesday used to be about food. But since we're now doing a 2 day a week schedule, Tuesdays is the day we talk about games. And today we are talking about not the exit games, but specifically exit the advent calendar. But we feel that we can't do justice and talk about this without first talking about the exit journey.
In fact, we can't do justice about anything until we talk about, Toby, what is an advent calendar? Do you have a definition for an advent
No, I
calendar?
did not prepare. Wait, I'm very bothered that the light is reflecting.
Well, that's just the nature of it. It's not okay. Okay.
I'm like holding it at an angle.
Up, and then Mitch is here. Sam's here. Yes, it's quite a big box. We're very surprised. Okay. All right. You can start talking about exit. I'll load you an advent calendar
Okay.
definition.
So I first encountered Exit the Game, and there it is, Exit the Game, a few years back when I visited Los Angeles for a convention. Met up with a few friends there, and my new friends saw me at one point walking the corridor. They're like, hey, join us. We're playing an escape room. And I'm like, okay. But then I step into the hotel room, wondering what to expect, and I see a single box. And that single box opens up a world of possibilities, which turns out to be the world of Escape the Game. Escape the Game
Exit
are
the game.
Exit the Game are a series of escape room-like experiences that are meant to be played as a single encounter or single experience. You actually have to destroy things when you go through the game. These range from disassembling the manual to cutting stuff up to rolling, folding, um,
A lot of stuff. A lot of
scoring,
creative things.
and many other things. And in many ways, that is why we love Exit because it
Yes.
always forces us to see how far they'll go, how creative they'll approach a puzzle.
Dare I say, think outside the box or in it, around it, under it, through it.
Now, with the standard Exit games, they soon eventually came out with
Exit the game plus puzzles.
wherein now the escape room experience comes in a bigger box because it includes three jigsaw puzzles that you have
Four.
to four, three,
Four.
four.
We did four.
Right, four.
Sam was asking, it's like a legacy kind of thing. Yes, they're like
Yes.
legacy experiences.
So the four jigsaw puzzles are built at a certain point as you go through the experience, and the puzzles themselves become part of the escape room experience, which can be surprising how they're utilized.
And I think we did an episode where we talked about, I think, one of the puzzle ones. I can't
Yes,
remember if we
yes,
did. I know we
we
did. We talked about Exit in general in our episode about escape room games.
Mhm.
But then we talked about this puzzle thing in a specific episode about puzzle.
Now, an escape the game box costs around
Exit.
exit. I keep saying escape.
There's so many because there's
Yeah.
also Escape Tales,
Yes.
there's also Unlock, there's also
So an
Escape
exit-
the
A
Room.
box of an exit game costs around 800 to 1,000 pesos, depending on where you buy them.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be played once. So if you are buying something secondhand, please be sure to ask if everything's intact. Because there is a growing movement of people who are not comfortable with cutting stuff up. So whenever something tells you to tear stuff up or
They'll take a
fold stuff up,
picture,
they take a photo, they
digitally
do
manipulate the
other
photo.
variations. We're not that type of a group.
No, we totally like, see, I have scissors ready. So
And
yeah, so that's like part of the fun.
so with the game and the puzzle, they now have the advent calendar. So Rocky, what is an advent calendar?
All right, we were just going Wikipedia on this one. An advent calendar is a special calendar used to count the days of Advent in anticipation of Christmas. Since the date of the first Sunday of Advent varies, falling between November 27 and December 3 inclusive, many Advent calendars, especially those are reusable, just begin on December 1. Although those are produced for a specific year start from the first Sunday of Advent and thus include the last few days of November and begin the liturgical season of Advent. Um, Traditionally, it would be religious iconography,
Yeah,
and then when you open the different flaps for each day, there would be
a different something.
yeah, the but Advent calendars in themselves have become quite a thing, and they're like many geeky themed
Mhm.
Advent calendars. Like I have a friend, he has a Marvel Funko Advent calendar where
Mhm.
each door hides a
Funko
mini Funko figure of
Yeah.
a different Marvel character. But I feel like he's also been reopening it every year.
In a similar way, in the Philippines, there is a Christmas practice that is called Monito Bonita or something like that.
Okay, yeah, the
We're in-
little gifts.
You exchange gifts with different people for 24 different sessions. Well, numbers vary depending on economic status.
Wow,
and
I've never
willingness.
done that like for a
Yes.
full Advent
Because
phaser.
normally it's a list of things, right? Something this, something that, something this, and that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
a full 24.
Oh, I didn't realize it went that long.
Yeah.
At the most you could do was weekly because especially with office mates, money is important.
Yeah, at the least people. Do
Mina
exchange
says she's
gifts.
obsessed with Advent calendars. Mina, have you seen the Star Trek Advent calendar?
And the
It's
Lego
shaped like a Borg,
and the Lego Advent
a Borg
calendar.
cube. There's a Lego
And
one.
then who
There's a
recently-
Doctor Who
Who
one.
recently has been posting the Kit Kat
Javan.
one?
Javan
That's
has a
Javan.
Kit Kat one. So, and this is the year, like, I know I was like, I was telling Toby, I'm so tempted to get the Star Trek one. But then,
But you said no gift, so I didn't get it.
yeah, and then by the time I get it, it's not going to be Christmas. So I'd have to wait for next year to open it. It'd be so frustrating. So I didn't. So we didn't get that. But then Toby started talking about this exit one, which when we first stumbled across it, where was it? Miniature Market, Board Game
So
Geek?
there was mention of it in Board Game Geek, and the mention of it was a new exit advent calendar, and it was in German.
It was only in German.
And we were like, "Oh man, are we really gonna buy a German copy just so we can experience it, and we'll learn to translate it somehow?"
But for those of you who are friends with me on Duolingo, you'll know that I have a 1,300-day streak on Duolingo where majority of it is German.
yes,
so
Sam, there is a Star Trek.
so
one.
maybe I would have just enough German to play the game with the translator app, guiding me with words I don't know.
So-
Who knows?
What are we expecting with the advent calendar?
Wait, how did you finally find it?
Gaming Library.
Yeah, so it turned out Gaming Library, because they
Not a
are
sponsor.
not a sponsor, but they are the official distributor of Cosmos games
Yeah.
in the Philippines. We were surprised that there was an English exit advent calendar that came in, and Toby swooped in and grabbed the copy right away.
Mm.
What does the game promise?
So Exit the game Advent Calendar is The Mystery of the Ice Cave with 24 exciting riddles. As we can see here in the back, there will be a rule book. There will be a small book that we're not supposed to open until told to do so. There will be little things that are needed. Cards are a common theme in the exit games, wherein they're used to either share the clues or reveal if the answers were correct.
Mhm.
Typically, there is a wheel. In this case, it seems to be a smaller one here, which is a bit hard to see.
Yeah, a different. It's a decoding wheel
Yeah, but in a
also.
standard exit game like this one, you could see there's a large decoder wheel. The decoder wheel is used in lieu of a person or an app who knows whether your answers are correct. And so, by entering codes based on the riddle in reference to the riddle symbol, you then can find out if you got the answer correctly.
At least that's how standard exits work. So we're not quite sure how this is going to work. And then it promises 24 individual puzzles to replace the Advent experience of opening 24
Now, I'm starting to
thingamabobs.
realize, though,
Yes.
because my brain's now running in numbers in my head,
Okay.
this is a standard exit game in a bigger box.
It could very well be.
Because a standard exit game would be around 24 puzzles only in cards.
No. Technically,
Because there would be like 12.
no. There's because the number of puzzles is the number of symbols.
Yeah, how many?
So we only
symbols?
have about 12.
Yeah.
There are only 12,
So it's
10
like
to 12.
double. Okay.
So it's still worth it being bigger. So
We're going to try it.
the plan for this episode is one, it's already December 14. We are 14 days behind.
But
We are not going to do all 14 puzzles
We don't
on air.
want to spoil it
Yes.
for anyone else out there who might get a chance to buy the game and play it. But we will play the first puzzle for those who've never tried Exit to have an idea what it's like. And this is a warning. We have not previewed this. Exit
The
puzzles.
plastic's still on.
Yeah, exit puzzles can be quite tricky, can be quite difficult. So we might end up spending the first hour in that puzzle alone, or we might solve it in 5 minutes.
At the same time, we're for those who are very 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 concerned about spoilers, we're gonna do this in stages. So this is our discussion part where we're just talking about the game. Then we're gonna do an unboxing to look at what's inside. Then it's your last chance to leave so that we can play the first puzzle together.
But before we get to that, we have to do the YouTube picture first.
Oh, okay. Do you want to fix these other ones? Are you okay with that looking like
I think
that?
that's okay.
Okay.
I'm just hiding the light.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2. Okay. I think
That's enough
right.
of a thumbnail. All right. And yeah, Sam is like still reacting to the Star Trek Advent
So-
Calendar. Yes, it's shaped like a board cube. It
So
comes
again,
with socks.
Around 800 to 1,000, depending on where you buy it. Highly worth it. 3 levels of
Three levels of difficulty.
The
Actually,
lowest.
5. There are 5 dots.
Okay. The
There are 4
lowest.
lights.
The lowest level of difficulty you can actually play with kids because it's a guided.
It's super
journey.
guided. The rule book, the puzzle book is linear and
Yeah.
it's gated. Like you can't leave page 1 until you solve it.
And then the
thing.
harder ones, sometimes they feel harder because of incomplete information. Other times they feel hard because they really force you to reconsider how you will do things. But I think all in all, whether or not we've had games that frustrated us, we still loved
generally enjoy the
fantastic
exit games.
moments.
Yeah.
And some even leave you a keepsake.
Yes, we have like little random things around the house now that represent gifts from exit.
So you might want to look for these. If you like puzzles, then you might want to look for these. We will warn you, they are treacherous puzzles.
Yes.
If a common tactic in puzzles is, let's say you have a puzzle piece here and you're trying to find this yellow and orange color to match it there, it doesn't work because the puzzles will usually have the color which is totally different from its surroundings, and it's amazingly done.
Yeah, normally you have puzzles that are half one part and half another. This one, they have a lot of pieces that feel like they were deliberately cut around the features so that so like if we're the border of the mountain and the sky, it would cut along the mountain. It's quite crazy that way. Mina has shared the link on Eagle Moss to the Star Trek Borg Advent Calendar. Thank you for reference for those who are curious. Not a sponsor. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so still would recommend this. I know it's a bit pricier only because of components. I don't think I've seen them locally though.
The puzzle ones.
I don't know they're there.
So the advent calendar goes for around 2-4 in gaming library. The puzzle ones go for around 1-6, 1-7.
So still not bad for puzzles that even if you don't like, you said even if you can't play the puzzles
Mm-hmm.
again, just assembling. Sorry, you can't do the riddles again, but assembling the puzzle is always going to be a challenge.
And we've always been tempted to like frame them and stuff
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
really beautifully picked. They're beautifully done. Artwork's great, but we're not the type to frame and post stuff on our
Plus,
walls.
you would be framing things that also has random things that stick out of the photo because they're elements of puzzles and riddles to solve.
All right, so
Welcome
uh,
to the unboxing portion of this video.
for those wait, sorry, key game details. You can play exit game solo.
Oh, yes, that's true.
There are no, those are unlocked. All exit games can be played solo.
Yeah, there
No,
is
no, no. Sorry, the Star Wars was unlocked.
is unlocked.
Yeah, Star Wars. Unlock is the one that sometimes requires people to split information. But
Yeah.
all exit games are played solo.
I get, but there are some that they like playing with the quote unquote split the party
Yeah.
element. What's this? But yeah, definitely can be played solo. So is rated to be played with a group as large as six. Only because it's just hard to juggle the components.
Mhm.
There are only so many. There's only so much space around a table to look at the cards together, and then if there are more people, it's more people to pass around. So I think in our experience, four is the sweet spot, like to play this game,
Mm-mm.
to play standard exits.
Because that
Uh,
also means when we play games, we are practicing social distancing.
yeah. Then to things to keep in mind, it's good to have scissors and or a cutter when preparing to play exit. Have
Notebook,
paper and pen for
because it
notes.
helps to track your knowledge and information. There is a Cosmos app which is not necessary for play, but it's a good way to add ambient music as well as um, the rating system.
And it has a tutorial baked into the app that's specific to each edition of the game, which surprises me. I know they just load the file and reskin it. Um, but it is exactly the wording in the manual read
Mhm.
aloud, but it helps for some people.
I'm just really surprised that there is no advent calendar entry. There is a kidnapped in Fortune City, which I have to look for.
I think it's fair to say we have probably played almost every single exit released.
They don't have it yet. Then.
You know, it's worse than we're gonna start looking at miniature market.
I'm shopping online.
Okay,
Okay,
stop.
so let's do unboxing. Would you like to open it?
Yeah, I'm not even sure how to best
Okay, I'll do
open
it.
this. Okay, and I like here's me like poking it with scissors. I realized I can't really use my left hand,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
to
what I
my
realized.
left.
You
So
can't
then
raise your
it's
arm.
like I'm just gonna help a little.
Oh, it's a loose leaf thing in the front.
Oh,
Oh, because
oh!
it's an advent
This is an
calendar.
advent calendar.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
okay,
yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
Don't be sounding like this. Okay, you pick that up later. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
No, I saw those. Okay.
So we have our ooh, okay. We have our heavy book, which is the storybook.
And it says stop, don't read until instructed.
What slipped out is one of the strange objects. The strange objects are always present in the boxes.
No, but that one's it's on it's shown on the back of the box. It's a decoder.
Yeah. We have the help and rule sheet. Oh, these are really thick things. And then, oh, look at that. That's so pretty.
So it is a mountain scene, and then the boxes are on the bottom.
Okay, wait. I wanna decrease the height of our table.
A lot of exits. Yeah, here we go. Our very complex
There.
viewing setup. So there. Ooh, dear.
So we have a skiing scenario. We have the the pockets. The pockets are marked with the symbols that are usually for the exit symbol games. Let's see there.
And only one of them says a number.
Mm-hmm.
The rest don't. Toby, can you turn it? Yeah, let's take a quick picture in the middle of this episode because we're going to start punching holes in this thing. Okay. Um. All right, you can be in the picture. Go. Come on, peek out, peek out, peek out. Okay, fine. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then the map, the flags on the mountains are different colors. It already tells you it's probably related to the puzzle. Okay. So I
Your
don't.
pre-Christmas ski trip definitely hasn't gone as planned. As just as you are taking a break and enjoying the crystal clear mountain air, you hear a noise and see a terrifying avalanche crashing down the mountain towards you. Your heart is in your throat as you hastily grab your seven things. Oh, there are seven things. And race down the slope. With the last of your strength, you throw yourself into a niche in the rocks, and everything behind you is buried in snow. Your heart races as you pull yourself together. You can hardly believe it, but you are alive. Only then do you take a look around. Is that some kind of cave? This advent calendar is both an exit game and an adventure story. In order to free yourself from this predicament, you must open a door of the calendar each day. Behind each door, you will find a new and exciting riddle, the solution to which you will bring you closer and closer to escaping the cave. Will you solve the mystery of the ice cave and find the exit? There are 24 days, which is 24 riddles, as you can see here. Yeah.
So I'll warn you now. Well, not really warn you, but highlight for you that the rule book and the storybook are pads that have perforations on the top.
Mm-mm. And for just to get a feel of how thick that is.
Yeah, it's not. It's the thickest I have ever seen an exit manual. So that's already interesting. But yeah, but the pages are designed to be ripped off because of course they are. And then it comes with this decoding target thing. All right. So we're going to go through the beginning of this. I'm going to start reading the manual.
Should we?
Shark.
From this point on, spoiler shark. The voice is different.
All right. So let's go through the manual first. All right. Um so this is already what's on the back of the box, I
Yeah.
think. That this is definitely not what you had in mind for your pre-Christmas ski trip.
Yes. I know it's different.
This is definitely not what you had in mind for your pre-Christmas ski trip. Taken by surprise by an avalanche, you take cover in a rock alcove using the last of your strength before the snow buries everything behind you. Although you are safe for now, how do you get back out there? You look around and discover that you are trapped in a cave. The way back is blocked, so your only hope is to press on ahead. Make a move and start exploring the cave. You may be able to find another exit. Important warning: before playing, do not take a closer look at any of the game components or open any of the doors. Wait until the game tells you to do so in the text. Read through this rule sheet carefully first. Your game components at the moment: the storybook that tells a little bit of the story day by day, the help book with rule sheet, and
What's that
get
one?
help if you need more, the decoding table, which is this, and decoding strips in the help book, and additional secret material for the riddles hidden behind the 24 doors of the advent calendar. So if you look at the help book, it already has these things, which means Toby has to cut them out.
Just to show. There, you see, there's the dotted line, which is the universal symbol of cut them up.
Yep. Okay. Game preparation. Before you can start, you need to prepare the decoder. Take some scissors and carefully cut out the 3 decoding strips. Then thread them through the holes of the decoding table. Okay, so I'll let you cut. You want to use these scissors? They're smaller. Yeah, let's tuck this under. Okay. Yay. I make Toby cut things more often than not because my last name is Suniko and I don't cut in a straight
It's
line.
kind of a challenge to cut in the dark.
That's why you want smaller scissors. No.
No, it's just that my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
We have no music.
The pressure of doing this on live stream.
Here we are cutting stuff on camera.
On camera, in the dark, in the night.
A recipe for success. And the decoder has stuff on both sides. I can already
Yeah.
tell you. So which is like classic exit stuff. Is this the first time we're cutting pages out of the manual of an exit game? Hardly not. There's like so many things we've had to go through. Pa-pa-pam.
Now, for many people who are thinking, why spend so much money? Then you'll cut it up. I've always felt that the best way to really grasp the mindset is to see that you are buying an experience. No one really complains that you'll spend this much money on pizza and you can't eat it again.
Unless you're a dog.
No one complains that you're spending so much for a musical or a concert and then you won't be able to see it again.
There is a related rant like this on the Portal Games YouTube channel where Ignacy also uh, talks about people complain about certain games being more expensive than others, even though they don't have a lot of components. But again, you're paying for an experience. And at least with I guess the challenge with Exit and other like these single play games is that it's always thought to be, uh, you know, um, board games are always infinitely replayable. But for especially people with large board game collections, how many games do you play through, a lot of times? So sort of to get your ROI. And that's why single play games like escape rooms or fixed campaign games like legacy games, both have a unique value in that they are games you are definitely going to play to get to the end of the story. So at least if you're like us and you really like this. Wow, there's like a lot of people on this stream. Do remember it's an interactive live stream. We would love to hear you. Please comment so that we know you're there.
We can't tell who you are until you send us comments.
Okay, so Toby has cut out the 3
Yay!
strips, and then the rule book says.
I'll keep reading while you thread those in.
So go back to the previous page. There's instructions on how to
So here.
thread these.
Thread the 3 strips through the corresponding holes horizontally as shown. So red on top, then blue, then yellow.
So it's insert in the small hole.
It's important to thread the 3 strips in this exact order. Take care not to mix them up, otherwise the decoder won't work correctly. Now I understand that when it comes to cutting stuff up and the like, there is that fear of what if I do this wrong, then I ruin the game and I can't play anymore. And that's a valid concern.
That's a
it's-
great gameplay question.
It's an honest fear we've had ourselves, right? Here, look, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got the. It's just that it's a little snug for the hole. Like
I
you could have
cut more.
trimmed it a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But that's fine. I think that's part of the experience. That's like, why travel to the States? What if the plane crashes? That's the fun. You discover the joy of life. By
Why is the example a plane crash?
I blame Lost. I'm so sorry. I'm a
Okay,
fan of
so I
Lost.
got one in, and it's stuff, and I'm not going. And there's stuff on the back. I don't look
So
at it.
while you're
Okay.
doing that, you will then find an arrow and an exit symbol on the back of each strip. You will only ever need to pay attention to the arrows and the exit symbols, which are beneath one another in the center. So this has replaced the
that's
wheel.
clever. Yeah.
So just, I guess, for quick purposes of example. And our quality naman is not clear enough to spoil it. A standard exit game would have something like this, which is a wheel.
Which
There's-
has windows.
Yeah, you have these 3 areas that turn, and then there's a window here which is not visible thanks to the light, which then shows you the value if you got things correctly.
Oh my god, this is scary.
So it seems for the advent calendar, we're not using a wheel.
Because like I have the strips of paper, and then on the back are symbols and directions.
There, continue here, and then you have the bear.
And it's weird because it's
Reversed.
This reversed.
Okay,
Okay.
the decoder table is ready to use. Place it on the table together with the storybook.
Okay.
I have the storybook.
I have that on the table.
Additional game components required. You will also need pens, a ballpoint, a black waterproof pen, and a pencil are best. I'm worried if specifically those are needed.
Waterproof pen sounds like a marker, right? Okay. And then
To cite waterproof makes me scared.
at least one pair of scissors and some paper for notes should you need it.
You will find everything else you need behind the doors of the Advent calendar.
Oh my gosh.
Woohoo! Okay, where is the game board? In this game, the Advent calendar itself is your game board. You will have the storybook. Here, you will find out how you came to be in the predicament, and every day has an introductory chapter that continues to tell the story.
Don't tap my arm.
Oh, yes. I
Don't
forgot.
tap it again. I have vaccination arm.
Well, booster.
It's still a vaccination.
Solve riddles step by step. Perform the following steps each day. Carefully tear out the current calendar sheet from your storybook along the perforated line. The
Oh,
date of the
wow.
current day can be found at the top sheet of the sheet of pad. Read the chapter. Open the next door as soon as you are told to do so in the text. Behind the door, you will find the various things that will help you solve the riddle of the day. These could be riddle cards, various strange items, or objects. Solve the riddle. In general, you may and must use everything you find in the current room or the storybook. This is the only way to solve the riddle. Attention! To solve the riddle, you can label, fold, or cut up the material.
Sharpie.
Anything is allowed, and much of it is even necessary. Keep hold of all the game components you have until you reach the last day of the Advent calendar. Don't throw anything away. You may need it again. You only ever read the current calendar sheet. Only read the next sheet when you want to start the next riddle. What door do I continue at? Don't be surprised.
Why did you read it that way? I was gonna say I now know what the Sharpies are for. Because the Advent calendar is not labeled. Remember, only the number 1 is labeled. The rest of the doors we're gonna have to figure out.
Okay. What door do I continue at? Don't be surprised that all the doors of your Advent calendar do not have any numbers. You were just
That's why I
explaining.
wanted to say it before the rule
Only
book
the
said it.
first door is
I figured it
labeled.
out. I figured it out.
In order to escape from the ice cave, you have to solve riddles from door to door, one day at a time. The solution to the current riddle will show you where to start from the next day. This is how it works. The solution to each riddle is always a 3-digit numerical code. Set the retrieved numerical code on the decoding table using the 3 decoding strips. Always make sure that the numbers are in the correct order. Have you set the code? Then turn the decoding table over without moving the strips. Now look at the back of the decoding table so that you can see the text and so the polar bear is not upside down. You will now see 3 arrows in the white region from top to bottom. These 3 arrows show you the way to the next door. You always start at your current door. From here, follow the arrows from one door to the next. If you have followed all the 3 directions correctly, you will land at the
Oh my
destination.
god, I'm scared.
So I presume there are some combinations that do not have a matching door.
It's possible.
That's the only way we'll know if we guessed wrong.
Yes. And the fact that there are 3 steps that you're gonna move every day.
And then that's the arrows.
Yeah, so look, it's like diagonal. I'm scared.
Note, the arrows will never direct you beyond the edge of the Advent calendar during the game. If a direction should lead you beyond the Advent calendar,
You did something
your code
wrong.
is wrong. Have you found the correct door? In order to check this, compare the 3 symbols with the destination door. So we follow the arrows, and it should lead to
And
that
it
door.
should match. And they're like, this is the classic exit shapes, triangle,
Oh my
crescent.
god, that's good design.
Yes. So you'll know it's correct.
Oh my gosh. Maina, you need to go live per day. No, because that would spoil it for everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is why we're only doing one puzzle.
And then we're gonna play, I don't know, 12 more today.
We'll see. Do the symbols not match up? Carefully check your route. Again, have you followed the directions from the starting door to the destination door accurately? If yes, then your code is probably incorrect. Take a look at the riddle again. Have you missed anything? If you get stuck and can't continue, don't despair. Take a look at the help pad. Here you will find clues for each riddle that will give you a helping hand. You will find an explanation on how to use the help system below.
Okay, I think we can skip that first.
No,
Only-
do the symbols match up?
Okay.
If the symbols, you have solved the riddle correctly, you'll arrive at the next door. write the date on the next day on the snowball on the next door.
Yeah. So snowball. There's a circle for game.
The next riddle will then start tomorrow. Of course, only after you have read the chapter in the story guide. Okay. You must solve the riddles in order. All codes must be cracked logically. So I know some people get frustrated. Oh, let's just try 112, 113, 114.
I mean, like you have it's a 10 digit on 3 wheels, so technically that's 1,000 combinations.
At the same time, yes, you are free to do that.
But that's
Um,
not the point of the game.
yeah. It's sort of like buying any game and then you just chuck it in the trash can and say, I won. No one will deny you won.
Wow, we're in a mood today. Plane crashing, throwing the game
Do not
away.
forget to label the next door. It's the only way you will immediately know where to continue the next day.
Mhm.
Do you need any help? If ever you cannot continue, the game help pad will provide useful information. Look for the page with the puzzle date and the help pad. Fold the bottom of the edge with the corresponding mark. Then there'll be first, second, and
Yeah.
solution.
See, I love this part about help stuff, which is this particular variations of this system were introduced in the puzzle
Mhm.
edition. In the standard exit, there are help cards.
So note all the components in the game have been carefully designed and packaged. If cards and strange items in a room get muddled up, you can find a refill guide for the advent calendar. There's a link. Oh.
Hmm.
This shows you where the individual components belong. Let someone who is not participating sort the calendar. Then you can easily continue with the game.
Oh, that's interesting. Like if it got messed up in shipping or something.
Mhm. How does the game end? The game ends when you have solved the last riddle, blah, blah, blah. The game begins. What are you waiting for? Okay, so this is just a quick glimpse of the help area. So as you can see, it's December 1. We're so behind. But as you can see, there's 3 sections. If it's not readable, that's okay. It's better you don't read them.
But basically, it's like first clue, second clue,
Since the
solution.
clue's in the bottom, you can fold to read that part without spoiling the rest.
Yeah,
Awesome design.
this is
Awesome
what always impresses us about Exit.
Okay, so
So I'm going to because we play these games, very accurately. Let's follow the instructions, which is you get the storybook. We look for the date. Oh, there's an introduction first. Let's read the introduction. It's long, guys. Storytelling time. Okay,
need that.
introduction. It's okay. I got this. You take a few last steps through deep powder snow and turn around. Your gaze wanders over the snow covered valley. Down there in that tiny town, people are probably already busy decorating their homes ready for Christmas. You take a few deep breaths and the cold air burns in your lungs, already strained from the climb. But at least there's air, clear and pure. No comparison to the city air that you, unlike your friends, left behind you. Your friends only seem bothered about Christmas this and Christmas that. Not only not the only ones either, given how deserted the ski lift and slope seems to be. You quietly celebrate your decision to take a spontaneous skiing holiday alone. Man. Um,
sadness.
um, where is that? Okay. It's wonderfully serene up here. You look around and finally find the trail markers that will lead to the best ski run in the area. You leave the beautiful panorama behind and follow the signpost over the next hill. As you strap your skis under your boots, it suddenly becomes strangely dark. Deep gray clouds have gathered over you and threaten to block out the daylight. Thankfully, the snow still reflects enough light to continue, but you'll need to step up a gear if you want to really enjoy the descent. As you begin to ski in earnest, thick snowflakes begin to fall. This doesn't improve your view, but there's still nothing to worry about. Your skis slide rhythmically over the top snow and you enjoy the solitude. On the slope ahead, you spot a long metal rod protruding from the snow. You slow down and stop. Is this a slope marker? The flakes are falling more and more densely, and you're beginning to find it difficult to orient yourself. A little further along, you see a second steel pole. It is not necessarily the usual kind of marker, but after all, this is not a busy run either. You continue on down the slope more cautiously. Oh, Lance is here. Hello. As you ski, you notice more and more bare rocks around you. This can't be right, can it? Your path leads along high rock faces and dangerous looking abysses. Did the metal marker lead you to the right direction? You decide to take a short break. After all, the situation can only be improved with a snack and a chance to sit and plan in peace how to safely return to the main run. Searching, you let your gaze wander over the slopes. Suddenly, something cracks loudly behind you. You turn, but all you can see is snow and rock. Then you hear a deep rumble. The mountain seems to tremble, and your skis start to vibrate. The snow begins to move under your feet, and a sliver of panic seizes you. An avalanche! Your heart is racing. Your mind screams over and over, damn, 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 help, help, help. But your body instinctively knows what to do and takes control. You lean into your skis and head in the same direction as the tumbling snow. Behind and beside you, the white mass thunders down. Now all you can think about is not getting buried by it. The snow seems to be forcing you directly towards a sheer rock wall, and your mind clicks into gear. You have to change course right now, otherwise you'll be crushed between the snow and the rocks. But what is that? Is that a hole in the rock? You feel a glimmer of hope, and twisting your body along with all of your might, you dive into the alcove and feel the push of snow forcing you deeper inside. Then the world turns black before your eyes. Dang, this is long. Okay,
I'm having a moment of panic.
I'm double checking. Like, am I okay? I got like 3 more pages to go. Okay,
Of story?
of story
Oh my
before it says open door one. I got this, guys. Welcome to the story. All right. A little later, you awaken and find yourself on an icy rock floor. You're half covered in rubble and snow, but you can move. You struggle to catch your breath as you stomp free and warily straighten yourself upright. It takes a while for your body to stop shaking, and a few tears run down your cheeks. That was so close. You can't believe you survived. The rumbling outside has now stopped. Instead, there is an eerie silence. You hastily throw off your skis, sticks, and ski mask. You grab your mobile phone from the inside pocket of your jacket, but there is no reception, and you don't have a transmitter. You test whether you can make a hole through the snow with your ski poles, but you quickly come across ice sheets and rubble. You won't get any further here. Somehow, you have to get out of this place. By the time you're missed and someone finds you here in the avalanche, you'll have long since starved to death. You turn away from the buried entrance. With icy fingers, you turn on your mobile phone torch and shine it in all directions. What you thought was a niche in the rock seems more like a corridor. You trace your fingertips along the walls. They are peculiarly smooth and even. A few meters in front of you, the passage opens to a larger cave. The light of your torch doesn't go very far, and stalagmites and stalactites throw shadows across the cave. You try to recall the name for stalactites that have grown into one another, of which there are also a few here, but you just can't think of it. You're slowly regaining some of your optimism. If there's an entrance, might there also be an exit?
So I'm already bothered
Go
because the
ahead.
intro story is so full of thrill and excitement, but we go through this day a day. So are we surviving 24 days under the snow?
Yes. Okay. You decide to explore the cave as systematically as possible and start to move forward. Small stones continue to crunch under your bulky ski boots. You keep your torch shining into the darkness. There are a few meters in front of you. Something is glistening. But what? You move away from the wall to take a closer look. The nearer you get, the more sure you are that it has to be ice. But not just a simple block of ice. No, it almost looks like a figure, as if someone tried to make a bear out of ice. What a strange place for an ice sculpture. From
And
your
yes, we
new
have more.
from your new location, you look around and discover even more of these ice forms. Incredible. Many look like mountain animals, while others appear to be mythical creatures. The further you go inside the cave, the larger and more detailed the figures get. Wild theories run through your head. Was there once an exhibition here? This would be a very strange place for it. Perhaps an eccentric artist stores their sculptures in the cave. What is far more important is that someone has already been in this cave before you, so it's quite possible there's another exit here too. It's a bit scary, however, to be observed by the silent eyes of ice, and you want to hurry to the other end of the cave. Just then, you kick something and a metallic clank sounds in the stillness.
Clank.
You shine the torch downward and discover a rusty carabiner, which you have caught with your shoe. Not far away is a frayed rope. Perhaps they are left over from transporting the ice sculptures? You let your gaze wander and find more surprising things: 2 pickaxes, a dusty box full of tattered ropes, and an old tin containing rusty nails. Finally, you discover a rag bag of old helmets. Slowly, a new idea comes to you. Might an expedition to this cave have taken place in the past? Next to all the junk lies a new surprise: gigantic mountain boots. A look at the shoe sole tells you they are size 18. They're
18.
definitely the biggest boots you've ever seen. In any case, they're not an alternative to your ski boots and you put them back. But the boots look pretty new and somebody must have left them here. You shine the light more thoroughly around you and discover more of these ice sculptures. You are particularly impressed by an extremely detailed life-size bear figure. Behind it stands a
Always
huge
bears.
eagle, and further back, two strange monk like ice figures flank a flight of stairs. Your eyes slide back to, wait a minute, a staircase? You quickly rush towards it. You weren't mistaken. The two identical ice figures actually stand on a staircase carved into the rock.
We're not done.
With shaky knees, you begin to climb the stairs. After a few meters, you notice a light in the distance. Is anyone here? As glad as you would be to find help, it occurs to you the inhabitants must be pretty odd to live in such a crazy house. And what would they eat? Hopefully not skiers. Now that some light is shimmering in the distance, you turn off your torch to adjust your eyes to the darkness. You try to be as quiet as possible. After all, you never know what might be ahead of you. But the faint shimmer magically attracts you and you continue to climb the stairs towards a doorway. The first riddle begins on the calendar sheet, 1st December. Carefully tear out the calendar sheet before reading it. So then it says 1st December. Then it reminds you to carefully tear it out. It is pre-perforated, so that helps. Okay, and then I'm going to close the storybook so I don't see the next page. I'm going to read some more. Okay. 1st December. You wake up on the last steps of the stone staircase. Pressed against the wall, you peer into the room in front of you. The cave glimmers with a ghostly blue light. You wait for a second, but since you hear nothing there, you venture further. Behind a stack of nailed shut wooden boxes, you spot a large metal grate, an exit. You immediately hurry towards it, but after a good shake, you can tell it will not open easily. Then you discover a strong looking lock. You focus your torch on the lock for a closer look. It is a combination lock, but what code opens it? There's also a small piece of paper caught in the lock, which of course you read through thoroughly, immediately. At first, you don't know what to do with the strange clue. You let your eyes wander. Next to the boxes, there are all kinds of other things strewn around. You actually find some matches that you use to light a few candles. You can now put your phone away again. You look at the other objects that are lying around the supposed warehouse. Several of the objects still look relatively usable and could be of help to you. And of course, the mysterious artist also left a few ice sculptures behind. Especially striking is a gigantic ice swan perched in an alcove. You take another look at the clue on the mysterious note. Is there anything else on here that will help you determine the correct number code? Now open door 1. Behind you will find Riddle Card A and a swan. And there's nothing on the back. All right. So that's how this adventure begins. So this is puzzle 1.
You want me to do it?
I don't know if I want to do it. Why don't you do it? Ow.
Sorry. So I'm supposed to open door 1. I'm more worried about popping open the other doors.
Mm-hmm. Wait, okay. Door. Okay. When you open it, there's there's a card.
Anything else?
There's this one.
There's-
And then if you peer into the box
There's stuff inside. There's artwork inside.
with numbers,
Okay. I can do this. I can do this. Ah. Look at that. Do you see it?
no, they can see colors. I think So let's read riddle card A, and this is the most adorable riddle card I've ever gotten because it's so small.
Yeah.
The standard riddle cards are playing card size. Okay, riddle card A with a little Christmas ball on the side. What cool things you find in this cave! Exclamation point. There are sculptures that deceive the eye! Exclamation point. The items in the room help you crack the code from left to right. Okay, the riddle card has like these two things at the bottom. And then we have the strange item swan. Strange item is the universal code for it's perforated. So we're gonna punch it out.
Let me just adjust this.
So look, now I have a swan. But I also have a swan-shaped hole in a card.
Oh my gosh.
And then what more? There are pre-perforated diamonds in the lower corners of this card, which match the diamonds on the riddle card.
Which will probably prove useful later.
So I'm gonna punch them out.
They're also perforated.
Yes.
What cool things you find in this cave? There are sculptures that deceive the eye. The items in the room will help you crack the code from left to right. So inside we see there's the eagle, there's a cup,
Cup trophy.
there's a
There's
red
a
backpack,
backpack,
there's the grate, there's the light,
a flashlight,
there's
there's
the
a candle.
flashlight, which is number 1.
Oh my god! There's a map on the floor.
That's number 4.
There's a box of matches. There's a pickaxe, an eagle, the boots.
There's the skis, which is 7, the helmet, which is 5, a dagger, which is 6, rope, which is 9, and then you have the bear.
Okay. My first guess though is that hey, since this has holes and this has
We
the same
match them
symbol, if we match them up,
We'll see a message. Yes, find.
find the red items in the room.
Okay.
And the words is follow the shape of the swan. Oh, wrong arm. Okay.
So from that, oops, let me kill the light. Yeah, from that, with that, and then we put that. Churn message. Okay.
So red. Which ones are red?
You wanna write them down?
Sure. I'll take notes on the advent sheet on the back.
Okay, we have the backpack, which is 8.
Wait, the back is 8. Okay.
The flashlight, which is 1.
Okay.
We have the helmet, which is 5. So that's 3 numbers. That should be the code.
Yep. And then if we go back to the puzzle for the day, it does say look at the other objects that are lying around the supposed warehouse. Oh no, sorry. If you look at the riddle card, it says the item in the room help you crack the code from left to right.
And then we have here the symbol.
But that's it. That's the current
Yeah,
one.
that's the current.
So we now have a 3-digit code. We know this the sequence that it should be placed in, which is 815. So then I'll set the decoder. We're gonna have to trim this red one.
I can't open it again. It's sunk in. There.
Okay, I have set the decoder to 815, and then I flip it over, and this is the scary part. Okay, is it correct? Okay,
So from here, from 1.
yeah, and for purpose, we won't super show this clearly so that people have a chance to
Do it themselves.
Okay, so from here,
We're supposed to go there,
and then here,
then there,
and then here,
and then there,
and then
it
the
matches.
symbol is correct.
It matches.
The symbol match, so it's correct. So then I take my marker, and I'll write the number 2.
And we will continue that
And
after the show.
But yeah, and that is one day of the puzzle. So, I'm intrigued. Okay, it's smart.
So we know now that the pocket acts as a room,
Yeah.
similar to Mystery House, which we have a different episode review of that game.
Yes.
It has you digging and looking to find stuff. We can only expect to see how creative they'll get with the later portions.
But then, okay, Exit normally it has a riddle book. Sorry, a puzzle book, and then the each page may depict different scenes related to
Yes.
the story. So it looks like each Advent window now
Might be a
is
room.
practically a mini scene, and then coming up with cards in this size is perfect for this game
Let's see, let's get the old size card.
because it fits in the window. And that's also why this box is so big because it still functions as an advent calendar except you don't know the order.
Mhm. Oh, this one didn't have the cards. I forgot the puzzles didn't.
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
puzzle
cards.
doesn't have cards. You have to it has to be a standard, but we don't
We don't have an open one right
yeah, we
now.
don't.
Here.
Oh, wait.
Down here. Oh yeah. That
I
one.
have one
A
reference card.
keepsake. So, reference card. Advent. Good job. Good job. This is admittedly already exciting me. Ah, what's this? Why is there a symbol on the back of this card?
It's a Christmas ball. I don't know.
It might have a reason later.
We know historically from exits that everything can have purpose. Even even the long that long part, that long introduction of story, I'm so sure it's going to play into a riddle.
So we'll put the stuff inside.
I'm gonna put it back inside because we like dumping exit
And we
components
like
back.
keeping them. We want to make sure we don't lose anything.
Okay, wait, I
even,
have to-
even the trash.
That okay.
And we have solved one of the 24 puzzles.
And it's already the 14th.
This is exciting.
I'm very excited. Sam is asking, will we be reviewing this when we're done? Love to hear about the experience. I think we're gonna talk about it
We
somehow.
will. We will have
Yeah.
to.
And this is not a difficult thing. It's rated as 2 out of 5 on the exit scale, um, which is not bad. And
So we
admittedly, I feel like we have the most fun with puzzles of level 2 and 3. Not that we don't like the complex puzzles, but then a lot of times the design is just elegant
Yes.
and flows really well.
the level 2 and level 3 puzzles, they give you that aha moment.
Yeah.
Because there might be a stupid idea like, but what if I? You're like, what? Are you serious? That wait, look.
And I swear every exit game we've played will always have the what if we blank, and there's always that
Mm.
one puzzle in every
Mm.
exit that like really makes us think outside the box.
Or that. Wait, are they really asking us to?
Yes.
No, and then we do it, and then it does work.
Yeah, and this is where being with Toby helps because he has such just bonkers ideas. And the exit series will also really make you think that you can defeat in-person physical escape rooms.
Mm-hmm.
We've only done one in our life together, and
Mm.
we were with a good group. We totally aced that one.
Mm.
Um,
They were like, "Sir, are you sure this is your first time?"
yeah,
But I think we cracked the top 3.
we were in the top 3 for time for
Yeah.
that room.
And yeah, but
That was before a lot of these.
But with the pandemic and all, exit the game. Highly recommended. If you can still grab yourself a copy of the Advent calendar, it's hard to say if we already recommend it this early.
yeah,
but
but
I-
I'm very excited about
Yeah,
it.
and I personally would feel like grab it anyway, because it's what. How much did I say it was earlier?
1.7, and
Yeah.
it's 24 puzzles for you.
Yeah, so for that amount of money, if you actually went to an escape room, you're looking at what 500 to 800 pesos per person
Mm-hmm.
for an escape room experience. So this is like a 3-person escape room experience.
Even but you can actually play it as a whole family, and like
Yes.
every day, let's open the Advent calendar
Yes.
and let's see what the puzzle
Imagine
is today.
during those reunions and the like. And then, admittedly, not as fun, but possible to still play it remotely because you could still like let friends join in the fun of the video.
Yeah,
they
then
might
you'll just
not
have-
see it that well, but they might still throw ideas
Then you'll have people like us who are gonna read the story as animatedly as possible.
and take photos and send them over.
Yeah, we have a history of playing deductive mystery games over video conferencing. So
But I
Totally
guess
possible.
as far as this episode is concerned, that is.
I'm very scared when you're swinging it around. You did kanina. Right before this scene.
But that's our episode for Exit the Game Advent Calendar, where we covered the first puzzle in less than 5 minutes. And that's not an example of bad design. We're just that excited about it, and we're eager to play more.
and realistically, knowing Exit, the first few puzzles are like the warm up to like get you into the spirit of it, and then they're gonna throw you a curveball later on. Mitch wants to play detective. I want to play detective with you too, Mitch. We have the detective that has pets,
So yeah,
petty officers.
that's our episode for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, you can fill up the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, Altobi No Shade, RG Sunico.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about it.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. What did you think about this experience? Is this an advent calendar that you want to get into? It's just not a reusable one because you can only play it once. And don't you want to play an escape room with us? For Thursday, what are we talking about on Thursday?
Thursday was about escape rooms? No. Obar. We're talking about Obar.
We're talking
our
about
second home.
Obar. So Thursday, we're talking about Obar and the fact that it has reopened. So you can look forward to that. Tune in on Thursday. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride. And we're going to turn on the lights and open a few more doors. Woohoo!
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.